Jada is back at it here to give everyone my top 100 favorite movies of all time, part 5. Continuing my 10-part series discussing all my favorite movies, at least my top 100 of all time. A couple things you should know. These are going to be my favorite movies, not necessarily the 100 best movies of all time, so we're going to disagree. That's already a given. Be nice in the comments section. You can certainly share your opinion on why a movie probably isn't that good, but hey, I like it, and that's all that matters. Make sure you share your lists of your favorite movies. Whether you have a top 5, top 10, top 50, top 100, whatever you got, I'm okay with you putting that in the comments section. Or if you've already made a YouTube video, I know some YouTubers watch this particular stuff, go ahead and share that in the comment section, assuming I don't get an overwhelming amount of comments, which usually doesn't happen, unfortunately, not yet anyway. I'll check it out and get my thoughts and my opinions on that. And another thing, I am just essentially have the movie that I'm going to talk about ready. I don't have any list prepared on what I'm going to talk about, so I might spoil something. Probably will. I don't know exactly what I'm going to say, so just be aware of that. And let's start the list off. Continuing on, this is part 5 again. My 60th favorite movie of all time is going to be The New Guy. This one is with DJ Qualls and Elijah Dushku. Really fun movie. The crazy act. I just really like this movie. It came out in 2002, and I continuously watch this a lot, at least once every 5 years. There was a point where I watched it at least once a year at one point. I really enjoy this movie. It has a lot of funny moments, and it has some heart to it too, which I really enjoyed. So, The New Guy, number 60. Number 59, one of my favorite series of all time, the 4th installment of this series, Scream 4. Scream 4 is a really good movie. For the 4th movie in a franchise, I think they obviously did a better job with Scream 4 than they did with Scream 3, personally. Although I like elements of Scream 3, which a lot of people don't like, I enjoy that movie. I rate it probably a 7 out of 10, and the other ones are like an 8, 9, and 10. So I really enjoy Scream 4, had really good moments in the movie, and love the characters of Sidney Prescott, Gale Weathers, and Dwight Riley, and the new characters that they introduced, like Kirby was awesome, and the other characters were pretty good as well, and the movie was hilarious. The part where Anthony Anderson's character gets stabbed in the head and he's walking, he's about to pass out, he's like, fuck Bruce Willis. Great stuff in that movie. I don't want to say anything else about it. A little predictable, actually. I kind of knew who the killer was. It was pretty predictable to me, but I do that in every movie now. I figure it out right away. But anyway, Scream 4, number 59. Number 58, a movie that I used to watch all the time when I was a child, 10 to 15 years old, or maybe 8 to 15, somewhere in that range. I used to go to a video store called Club Video, and I used to rent it all the time. It's kind of like my guilty pleasure, I guess. It's called Monster Squad. It's an older movie. I think it came out in 87 about, the Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, the Mummy, the Creature, and they want to... I don't really remember like the specific plot points, but they're trying to stop these monsters from doing something. They have like a Van Helsing character that's stuck in the... I don't know. It's hard to explain now, but I remember loving this movie. I had to include it on the list because it's a movie I've watched a lot of times. Recently, I've seen it probably twice in the last 10 years, maybe 3 times, but before then, I probably watched it 20 or 30 times. That's how much I used to watch The Monster Squad. So check it out if you haven't yet, if you like. It's a horror movie, but it's not really that much of a horror movie. It's not scary, really, by any means, but The Monster Squad, number 58. Number 57, Air Force One. Really enjoyed this. A great performance by Gary Oldman, actually, as the terrorist that's taking over Air Force One. You've got Harrison Ford as the President of the United States, and he stays behind to try to get his family off the plane. Good performances there. You've got William H. Macy as one of like the people in the plane. You've got Paul, the guy that was in CSI that played Brass. I can't remember his actual name. Irrelevant at this point, but he did a good job. He's like a Secret Service agent. You've got the guy from Walking Dead who played. I'm forgetting names all of a sudden. Gregory in Walking Dead. Xander. He did really good as the head like Secret Service guy, and it was just a really fun movie. The line, of course, that sticks with me is when Harrison Ford grabs the guy, "Get off my plane." Really enjoyed Air Force One. It's a movie I've watched a lot of times. Even recently, I've probably seen it 3 times in the past 2 years. So Air Force One, number 57. Number 56 is another movie that I used to watch all the time when I was younger. I would say around that 10 to 15 time period at the same video place, Club Video. Disorganized Crime. The movie came out in 1989. It's got actually a stellar cast. You've got Ed O'Neill. You've got Daniel Roebuck, who was in The Fugitive. You've got Corbin Burnson. You've got Ruben Blades, who plays Daniel Salazar in Fear the Walking Dead. You've got Lou Diamond Phillips. You've got Fred Gwynn, who is Herman Monster. Rest in peace. And it's just a really awesome movie. These guys are robbing this bank, and this one guy's in jail, and they want to get him out of jail. And then he gets blamed for their bank robbery. I don't want to go too much into it. It's kind of corny at times. It's older, but I really enjoyed the movie a lot. Ed O'Neill's great in it, and all the crooks, so to speak, are awesome. And it's a really fun movie. I haven't watched it probably in 5 years, but I seem to remember it still being enjoyable then. But maybe over time it's not as enjoyable, but I still had to include it on my top movies of all time list. Number 55, I had to go with Mr. Brooks. This is a movie. It's kind of like Dexter. If you've seen Dexter, you have this serial killer, and then he essentially talks to somebody that's not there. Same concept. Kevin Costner plays Mr. Brooks. You have his alter ego played by William Hurt, who is General Ross in the Avengers series and the Hulk movie, and then he came back for Avengers Endgame. And I think he was in Iron Man too, if I recall. Maybe not in the original Iron Man, but just a really good movie. Dane Cook is in it. I thought he did a good job. You have Demi Moore is also in it as well. And it's just really fun. Dane Cook's character catches Mr. Brooks in the act of killing somebody. And he tries to blackmail him, but in addition to that, he wants to kill too. So he wants him to teach him how to kill. It's weird. It's crazy, but I really enjoyed Mr. Brooks, and that's why that is almost in the top 50. Number 54, The Rock. 1996 movie, Nicolas Cage, Sean Connery, rest in peace, Ed Harris. You have a bunch of supporting cast people that are really good as well, like a David Morse. You have a Tony Todd in the movie. You have William Forsythe, I believe, and a bunch of other people, but the movie is really exciting. It started that run of awesome Nicolas Cage movies, The Rock, Con Air, Face Off. Snake Eyes wasn't the best in my opinion, and then he didn't, Family Man, which I haven't watched in a long time, but I want to watch that again because I have a feeling I'll like it more now. And then, of course, he did Gone in 60 Seconds, the National Treasure movies. Not all of his movies, obviously, but it started my liking of Nicolas Cage. The Rock was awesome when he's like, "You'll go home and fuck the prom queen. You'll go home and fuck the prom queen. Carla was the prom queen." Just an awesome action movie, and I think Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery really did good with their roles. So that's why that's 54. Number 53, one of the all-time classic movies, the original Karate Kid. Now, obviously, this movie is higher ranked than it ever was before because of the fact that Cobra Kai came out, and Cobra Kai is fucking awesome so far. And I really love the original Karate Kid now. Maybe it wasn't something I thought about beforehand, but the movie is awesome. It's a good story. You've got, Mr. Miyagi. You've got Daniel LaRusso. You've got Johnny. You've got all the other characters. And it's just a really fun movie. And the crane kick at the end and the soundtrack. And you're the best around. Nothing ever gonna bring you down. You're the best. If you haven't seen Karate Kid yet, where the hell have you been hiding at? You got to watch that. But Karate Kid, number 53. Number 52, another movie that when I was younger, even younger than 8, I used to rent all the time. It was this, Disorganized Crime, and Monster Squad were like the 3 movies I'd always watch. And that would be, you're not going to like this one. A lot of people hate this movie. I don't understand the hate, but Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone. Yes, I understand the kid in this movie, Michael, is annoying as shit. But other than him, I really enjoyed Sylvester Stallone, playing Lincoln Hawk. I like the arm wrestling with Bull Hurley and the drama between Lincoln Hawk and the Michael's grandfather, played by Robert Loggia, rest in peace. And it's a really fun movie. Another great soundtrack. Pretty touching at the end that they well, I don't want to go into details, but I really enjoyed Over the Top. It's one of my favorite movies. I get it. Some people hate it. Some people think it's cheesy. I happen to like it a lot. So Over the Top, number 52. And then concluding this particular list, and then I'll get into the top 50 in the next video, a movie that it's kind of surprising that I watched, because I normally wouldn't just randomly watch this one, but I bought it, and I think it's because Kaylee Cuoco is in it, and that would be The Wedding Ringer. This guy, played by Josh Gad, is getting married to the beautiful Kaylee Cuoco, and she wants to know who's going to be a part of his wedding, his best men and stuff like that, and all of his groomsmen. And he doesn't have any friends, so he makes up a bunch of friends looking in his medicine cabinet, and then he's got to hire this guy, played by Kevin Hart, to find people to play these roles, and it's just really hilarious. It's got Georgia Garcia from Lost in it, who played Hurley. Kevin Hart is amazing. This started my love for Kevin Hart. I really thought he did really good, and it's actually a pretty touching movie too. I love the end of the movie with the character that plays that Hurley from Lost plays what he says. Don't want to go into too many spoilers here, but it's an awesome comedy. Is it really to be taken seriously? No, but it's just, it's a feel-good movie in my opinion. So that concludes part 5 of my list. I'll be out with part 6 very soon. Like I mentioned before, if there's any of these movies that you're really a fan of, make sure you talk about them in the comments section. You can leave your favorite movie list, however long it was, or however long it is, in the comments section. You can share, if you have a YouTube video of your favorite movies, I'll do my best to check it out, assuming I don't have an overwhelming number of comments, which usually doesn't happen. And then, of course, if you're a fan of movies, make sure you smash that like button. If anybody that you know would be interested in this, go ahead and share the video with them. And last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.